but and so I started watching Sirkhana1's videos, and this was actually kind of before I had an account, but as soon as I started watching Sirkhana1's videos, I was like, okay, let's form the account, and let's actually subscribe to this guy. And then I watched his entire Let's Play of Final Fantasy VI, because, I wanted, to play the game in different ways. And sure enough, he had like a very solid way of playing the game, very solid tactics and different things I didn't even know about. And I was like, holy crap, I did all this the hard way. And sure enough, he played the same exact anthology version of Final Fantasy VI that I played. And, went through that, and, it was amazing. And that was the first official Let's Play that I've ever watched, was What Made Sirkhana1's Final Fantasy VI Let's Play. Okay, so, I talked to Atma a lot more. I started talking to White Mage Sirkhana1 through the comments, and, life was doing pretty good, and so I decided to go into other RPGs. And, then I met this ranter named Mugen Mush. And Mugen Mush, he is an excellent ranter. Like, he's not like the type of AVGN ranter who just like blurts out curse words like every 5 seconds just for shock value. Like Mugen Mush actually has like good facts as to reason why he didn't like this in a video game or why he liked this in a video game. So I watched his top 10 RPGs that I hate and you probably love. Like, it's an actual playlist on his channel. And I got hooked on his videos. Like, oh my god. Like, I watched the entire thing. I, begged him to upload, another one of those videos because I thought it was so amazing. And sure enough, he started doing RPGs, that I love or whatever. And he started a playlist like that, listing his top RPGs that he considered to be really awesome. Sure enough, Final Fantasy VI was one of them. But the number one RPG that he chose was Suikoden 2. And I was like, what in the hell is Suikoden? Because at that time, I'd never even played a Suikoden game. Like, I was so into Final Fantasy at that time, because I thought, FF6... I thought that Final Fantasy in general was the shit, and now that my opinions are a bit more educated, it's kind of like, well, Final Fantasy is not the shit anymore, but, I started watching his videos, and then I started contacting him, and that was when I was really starting to begin to network with people, and, sure enough, Suikoden 2 is he was like, oh my god, you gotta buy this game, and I was like, okay, I'll buy this game, and I bought the game on eBay for about $140. $140 I spent for a excellent condition copy of Suikoden 2, and I spent another $50 for the official Prima's guide. So yeah, I started playing Suikoden 2, played it all the way through the end, and I loved it. Then it pretty much made me debunk FF6 as the best RPG of all time with Suikoden 2. Like, Suikoden 2 for me is the best RPG that was ever made, for me, in my opinion. And then I started to get the idea, since I didn't really like using the Prima's guide or the Game FAQ's guide, I was trying to tell Mugen Mush, maybe I should start doing videos that White Mage Sirkhana1 was doing about Final Fantasy VI, but instead for me, I would do Suikoden 2 as a video walkthrough of sorts. And Mugen Mush fully supported the idea, and he was behind me since before the very beginning. Like, he was there for me. Like, him, Atma, and Sirkhana1 were there for me, pretty much. And sure enough, I did tons of research. I spent months upon months of working my ass off and doing tons of research because I wanted to get it right the first time, because I was all about, right from the start, I was all about quality, and, I wanted to make sure that this was going to be a walkthrough that people could use to just basically get through, the basic points of the game, because I thought that was very important. And, sure enough, I saved up about, I don't know, $2,500, and I spent it all on my first generation of recording equipment, which consisted of a MacBook Pro, a Blue Snowball microphone, which is very good, very good microphone, and I spent it on a capture card, which I later switched out for another another one that was totally different because, well, that first capture card sucked ass because it was made by Pinnacle, and Pinnacle products suck ass. So, there you have it. But getting back to the point, it was basically, once I got those products, that's when I started to do LPs. And by the 5th or 6th episode, I finally got it, and then I just kind of took off from there in terms of LPs. Like, I finally got rid of the audio desync, basically learned about editing, and why I chose a Mac over a PC, because at that time, I was computer illiterate, and the MacBook Pro has amazing default software. Like, if you get a Mac, basically you'll get everything, like all of the editing and recording programs you need to make an LP, minus the whole emulation thing, because there aren't a lot of emulators available for Mac. But if you have a capture card, then it's not a problem. And from there, instead of wasting or spending like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on software that you could have gotten for your PC, you could have spent just as much and just got a Mac, and it made everything simple. I used the Mac for a year, and it made the vast majority of my videos on my channel. So yeah, and at that time I kind of waited. I was like, I might as well just get this Mac. It'll make my life easier. And sure enough, that's what got me into video editing, was using iMovie and GarageBand and stuff like that. Those are very good applications for especially people who are starting to get into video editing and stuff like that. So I did that, made my own videos. Now, several things happened. Randomly, out of nowhere, and I think it was by the 3rd episode that I uploaded, Lucagen came and she was like, "Oh my god, you're doing LP of Suikoden too?" And she offered me to help because she was a Let's Player herself, and she was an established Let's Player. She had like, I don't know, 200, 300 subscribers at that time. And yeah, this is a very long time ago. Matter of fact, 2.5 years ago. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, sure, you can help me out. And she was, telling me a whole bunch of stuff, and we quickly became friends after that. Shortly after that, somebody by the name of Dreamer7G also found me, and yeah, it basically kind of took off from there when I met him, because, well, we don't talk anymore between Dreamer7G and I. I mean, there were actually a lot of things that I found out about him that I didn't really like. Again, I don't mean to call out on people here, but, I just kind of had to stop that whole relationship. And, yeah, but it was really him who, kind of showed me around the internet, like all the different, apps that I can, use and stuff like that. And, he did help me out a lot, and I have to give him some credit. So, yeah, he met me. And then Lancer D.O., who is now Lancer D 1984, but I forgot what happened to his Lancer D.O. account. Something happened to it. Now he's Lancer D 1984. He also discovered me too, and the final sort of major LPer that found me while I was uploading my first videos of Suikoden 2 was Nintendo Capri Sun, who at that time just had 500 subscribers. Like, he wasn't even that big of an LPer at all. Actually, nobody really knew about him until White Mage Serenia said, "Hey, Nintendo Capri Sun is also making a run through of Final Fantasy VI, and you should check his videos out." And as sure enough, I found out that Nintendo Capri Sun started doing Let's Plays, or formal Let's Plays, because he found out White Mage Serenia too. So we both had the same inspiration of making videos from. And then we quickly became friends after that. Shortly after that, I found out that Lucagen and NCS were friends longer than I've been friends to either of them. So that's when we all really became close, was like early on, when none of us were even known, we